So I've never done a beef tube, so you're gonna learn with me. I know that we gotta grind these little things down right here, the little we'll say the bearing holders. We're gonna grind those down with a Dremel tool, man's best friend, so the beef tubes can slide right down inside like so. That way they'll sit flush. And these, what a lot of people don't know is this right here is going to come to where the bearing holder would be, I guess, the bearing stop. So it's going to fit perfectly right there. What I will do is I will use a little Dremel, and I'll Dremel those down. So I grind it down the one side so you can take a look. I just snapped the beef tube in there. You have to do the back part as well. You might not have to. You can push it down in there, but then it warps the plastic. So I just ground it out a little bit so it would fit snugger in there. But you can see that the channel looks clear now, and the beef tube fits in there oh so perfectly. So now I'll do the top of the case, and I'll show you what they look like. Here's the bottom of the case, both tubes in. The diff isn't in. I'm just doing more of a mock-up fit up right now. I ground down the channel of this. And so we're going to put it on and see how well it fits on. Might help if I put it on the right way. I'm looking at the camera at the same time. Yeah, there you go. They fit right in there. Nice and tight, as you would want them to be. And then you obviously slide your axle in. Your bearing will sit there, nice and flush. And there you go. That's how you install beef tubes. It's pretty simple. You know, I know people have had problems with different lockers and axle widths, so always make sure you check to make sure your axle fits in and that there's room for your locker, because the tolerances of, you know, manufacturing is different. So always, you know, double check before you put everything in and be like, why isn't it working? So, but I'm pretty much using all stock Axial stuff. Ugh, say that a lot fast. So it should work for the most part. So I'm gonna go on to the next thing and rebuild my diff. So I've taken the diff out. The bearings slide right off. As when you look in your axle, they're just resting on bearings inside the little part there. So took that off. There's 4 bolts. You just unscrew those 4 bolts. I like to use a napkin or something with these tiny bolts, or white mat. You know, you can pick up a pit mat from Scale RC pretty cheap for little parts like this. I'm just lazy, I haven't gotten there yet, but I will. So what will happen is you'll pull it apart, and then you'll have the thing by itself. And this is the original system that was in the GOAT, and it's got a HR locker, which I'm not going to complain about. It's held up for 4 years. I've never taken anything out of it, so it's pretty sweet. Held in there with some pins, they just slide out. And then I'll show you how to put in the. So I got these sweet little lockers I got from Axial. Just opened them. Part number 3500. And the AX. AX is in front of it, all of Axial stuff. But that's looking pretty sweet. As you will see in the cap, I'm gonna try and angle it. See these little lines right here? Not flipping you off, but see these little lines? You want to make sure your tabs go in the same way. You slide it right into place. Boom. It's that simple. And then you take your new overdrive gear, or whatever gear you have. That's a 3614. I think I have the part number somewhere around here. Nope, I guess I don't. Threw it out. But you can look it up. It's there. 3614 overdrive gear. That's what you want to put in the front of your truck. The 43 something or other goes in the rear, because that's slower. So you want faster in front, slower behind, so it's pulling you rather than pushing you. So you got this. You slide that back on, put your 4 bolts on, and here's your pinion. I didn't know when I actually bought it that it comes as one piece, so I actually don't need the other things that I bought. What you'll do is you'll slide this right down into your housing. Right here, and drop it in there like you would your normal pinion, and whoosh, make sure it snaps in, because if you don't, you're gonna have problems. It's a common thing. People are like, why doesn't it work? Why is it grinding? Or why isn't it turning? Did you snap your pinion all the way in? I don't know. That's most likely what the problem is. So got that. I'm gonna install the bearings in here, and then I'm gonna put it all together so you can see. I slid the stock axle shaft in there so you could see. Just slides right in the beef tube. Normally you'd have a bearing right here, and then it'd go right in like that, and you'd be in like Flynn. So I'm gonna install the other ones, but I'm lazy and I don't feel like taking them all apart just to install them, so I'm gonna put it all together so you can see the final product. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so I lied. I took them apart because that's the right thing to do, because I want to show you how to do them right. So I put the hubs on, the C hubs, slid them over. One thing you want to do is make sure that the holes in your beef tubes for the screws, the little, where is it, the hole, the little threaded rod there, you want to make sure they're lined up with your plastic, and then when you put your chub on, that way you can screw it right in. What I did just to double check is, once I got the chubs on, which you really have to, you know, push them on. They're not going to just slide on with ease. You really got to work them on. As I took a screwdriver, slid it through all the holes all the way through, and just kind of lined them up. So what I'm also doing, which I'm showing you guys, I'm giving a little thread lock, not a lot, because you are going into the beef tubes metal, and then yeah, that way it doesn't back out, because I have aluminum hubs and it's going through aluminum, plastic, and back into aluminum. Probably don't need it, but I'd rather have them not fall apart on me while I'm wheeling. So I'll put one of these guys in there for you so you can see. I think that's the right one. Pretty simple. Goes right in, nice and snug, as it should. Yep. There. What I do is I go flush with it and just watch the tube inside, make sure nothing is coming out, poking out. So that way you won't have anything grinding on the axles. But that's it. It's pretty awesome. I'll do the finished product here in a second, but a lot of weight has been added to it. A lot of durability as well. This is going to be the front. It's going to be awesome. So that's it so far. Boom! There it is. Beef tubes installed. Got the Axial heavy duty drive shafts, heavy duty locker, and overdrive. And I have the aluminum C hubs and the aluminum knuckles. She's heavy. So heavy. I like it. I like it a lot. Next thing I'm going to put on is the 4-link for the who was it? Jeez, it's the one I had on the go. To level 3. It's their 4-link. I really enjoy it. I thought I had it sitting right here, but apparently not. Apparently not. Don't know what happened. I got my finger stuck in me bum. Yes. But anyways, no, that ain't it. Whatever. You get the idea. 4-link in it in the rear or front as well, and then on that's it. Looks good. One thing I did notice, typical Axial fashion, is there's a little bit of slop here. It goes in and out. I don't know if anybody else does this, but what I do to clear up the slop is I use shims, washer shims on the inside. As I slide it down, I put it right before the bearing, and it works so good. I did that to the Bronco, and it got rid of a lot of the slop for the G6 event. You know, some people say, oh, you might want that, but I don't, and it held up at the, you know, G6 in Pennsylvania. Finished the competition, finished Shred the Ledge, and climbed a Scutney once, climbed a bunch of mountains and a couple other places, and so the shims work, and they work well. So I suggest that. I'm gonna tear this apart and redo it to get rid of that slop. But there you go, guys. Beef tubes. Pretty simple. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. And I may do some more before we head down to Pennsylvania. Who knows? Show you some other stuff. Hope you guys liked it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace out, man.